Hello everyone, it's me Buffy, and I am back with the final March episode of our weekly Market Insight series, coming to you directly from our capital markets trading desk at SunWest Mortgage Company. And with no delay, let's just get right into it. U.S. stocks continue to gain as Wall Street looked to wrap up its best first quarter since 2019. The S&P 500 is set to gain 10% in the quarter, while the Dow Jones gained 5.5% and the Nasdaq 9% during this period. Meanwhile, the dollar was up 3% as it was poised for its best quarter since 2022 after comments from Federal Reserve officials pushed back on rate cuts. Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic reiterated this week that he expects just one rate cut this year, while Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller said there's no rush to lower interest rates. He emphasized that recent economic data supports delay or reduction in the number of rate cuts seen this year. Commerce Department data released on Monday showed that purchases of new homes unexpectedly fell in February. New home sales came in at a 662,000 annualized pace, 0.3% lower than the upwardly revised January figures. Economists had expected sales to rise as the median price for homes sold dropped 7.6% from a year ago and hit its lowest level in more than 2.5 years. Nevertheless, sales of single-family homes are up 7.6% from a year ago. Looks like manufacturing may be regaining its footing as it indicates orders of durable goods increased more than expected in February. New orders of manufacturable goods placed in U.S. factories jumped by 3.7 billion to 277.9 billion month over month. The 1.4% increase was largely due to an increase in orders for transportation equipment, primary metals, and machinery. The surge comes after 2 consecutive months of decline, with January figures being revised to show orders dropping 6.9%. Home prices in the U.S. rose at the fastest rate since 2022. According to data from the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller, home prices nationally climbed 6% in January from a year before, eclipsing December's 5.6% annual increase. Even though inventory has started to rise recently, homes listed for sale remain at historical low levels, driving prices up. U.S. consumer confidence held steady in March, but the details of the survey were mixed. The Conference Board gauge ticked down to 104.7 from a downwardly revised 104.8. There was improvement in the Present Situation Index as it rose to 151 from 147.6, but the Expectations Index fell to 73.8 from 76.3, its lowest level since October. Despite slightly lower mortgage rates, mortgage applications fell for the week ending March 22nd. Even though the average 30-year fixed rate edged lower to 6.93%, MBA data shows that applications fell 0.7%. Refinances decreased 2% from the previous week and were 9% lower than the same week a year ago. Purchase applications slid 0.2% and were down 16% from a year ago. Data released on Thursday showed that the U.S. economy expanded at a healthy pace in the fourth quarter of last year, as the government's main measures of economic activity posted strong advances. Gross domestic product rose at a solid 3.4% annual pace, higher than the previous estimate of 3.2%. Consumer spending, which accounts for 2/3 of GDP, rose at a 3.3% pace. Meanwhile, gross domestic income rose 4.8%, the most in 2 years. Thursday's report was the Commerce Department's third and final estimate of the GDP growth for the last quarter of 2023. It will release its first estimate of January through March growth on April the 25th. The latest jobless claims report suggests that labor market conditions held stable this month. In the week ending March 23rd, initial claims for unemployment insurance declined by 2,000 to 210,000. Continuing jobless claims increased by 24,000 to 1.8 million for the week ending March 16th. The unemployment rate has remained under 4% over the past 2 years, the longest streak since the 1960s. And with all that said, this is all we have for you this week. But come back next Friday for more of the latest news and to get informed of our pricing incentives brought to you by, yes indeed, our SunWest Trading Desk. Like this video? Well, please hit that like button. And thank you for joining me today and have a fantastic weekend. Buffy, out.